intro to this track. Goddamn. Hey, everybody. It's time for Great Ace Attorney. We're back.
This is the longest intro trial I think we've ever had.
Yeah. It's
like it's fine so far, but it's a little too long. I feel like they maybe needed one
less
thing in here.
I feel like this has to be the last part of it. Where he's gonna be, yeah, I remember now, because he's like, haha, you say she died from the poison, well then it doesn't matter that I stabbed her, because the stabbing was unrelated to the poison, so I didn't do it. I think
I remember
he
said that.
He hasn't said that specifically, but I think he's about to.
Nah, he said something to that effect.
Alright. Let's find out where this trail is about to take us. Witness testimony. Complete innocence.
Complete innocence.
Oh yes, I stabbed the English woman, and it's the very fact that proves I'm innocent. I knew it. Because why would I bother to stab the woman if I'd already poisoned her?
Okay, well you stabbed her, alright.
When I heard the student girl and that pompous English murderer arguing, it got my goat. If the courts weren't gonna punish Brett for what she did, someone else would have to see justice done.
This is a wild defense.
What a claim!
Your Honor, I may have swerved my car into oncoming traffic, but the person I hit was already having a heart attack. So really, did I kill them? Did I murder them? Or did I just hasten the process?
Hi, Mall Guy.
I'm no longer known as Josh. Oh, right, this is me, isn't it?
Oh, rip. Sorry, I didn't mean to skip that one.
Yeah, well, open it up.
Fuck.
That's not the right fucking button.
It sure wasn't.
So, you admit it then? That everything happened as I described? That you are the one who stabbed Miss Brett in the back through the reed screen with the candlestick?
You can blame this miserable country of ours.
No, the country didn't stab anyone.
A country that bows to the pressure of foreign powers and lets murderers walk free.
Okay, that's not how this works.
What kind of future can a country like that have?
Your Honor, I'm not guilty because society?
That's why I did it. I did what our pathetic leaders didn't have the guts to do. Slap bang in the middle of that charming lady's back. I plunged the blade of sweet justice right in there.
Your Honor, I'm not guilty for killing my bitch wife because I hated her.
As someone who spends his life seeing that the truth is told, I feel really, really awful about giving false information in my testimony before. I don't think you do.
Oh, sure, man.
But as it turns out, there was somebody else who had it in for the victim and got to it before me. That's right, you guessed it. That pretty little student girl. Now there's a woman after my own heart.
You're implicating Ray again.
She's the one who gave the poison to the English woman and ended her pitiful existence. And suddenly, snap, this journo here is off the hook. Is it?
Is it? Are you sure? The argument is sound, apparently. If the witness had administered the poison himself, he need only have waited for it to take effect. Unless, like, a billion other things happened. You see, Your Honor, listen, Your Honor, how can I be guilty for hitting her with a big cartoon hammer when she was already slowly dying of diabetes?
She already had cancer, so really, the bus that I crashed into her with was just...
Listen, Your Honor.
It was delaying the inevitable.
Someone had already shot a sniper bullet. And the fact that I knocked her out of the way and then stabbed her with a katana means that I'm not guilty. Subsequently, stabbing the victim in the back would have been entirely nonsensical.
And therefore, this reporter had nothing to do with the poisoning. Yes, it's all quite logical. Is it?
This is the stupidest shit I've ever heard.
That's right, it is. Logic and true. I'm glad you've all seen the light. Justice at last.
This is unbelievable. And after I'd made so much progress in proving his guilt, is he going to get away with it now?
No.
No.
Use your poison detecting thing on his pen.
Think of Kazuma-sama and Naruhodo-sama.
I think it's very funny still that he only gets the san.
They never stopped looking for a way forward until the judge's final gavel. True.
Well, that's my final gavel.
I've made up my mind immediately. Death. Everyone dead. Very well then, counsel. Proceed with what I assume to be your final cross-examination in this trial.
Yeah, I mean, probably.
Yes, Your Excellency.
Hope so, at least.
It better be the final. There's another twist in here somehow. I'm gonna lose it.
I feel like we've already figured out all of the twists. We just have to get there now. Just press everything, figure out what stupid-ass thing he says.
So you do admit that you had murderous intentions toward Miss Brett, then?
Ha! The woman's very existence offended my sense of justice.
Your sense of he's claiming to be some sort of righteous... He's claiming some sort of righteous indignation.
She was pure evil, a cold-blooded killer who committed murder right here in our empire's soil. But did our good-for-nothing government do anything? Not a chance, so I had to step in. Fly the flag of justice, put things right for the people. Yes, it was my civic duty. That's what drove me to do it. Fucking Frank Punisher Castle-ass defense.
I had to do it, Your Honor. Who else was gonna do it? Yo, I can pop out Discord streams? Hold on. Since when?
The whole time, I think.
How long have I had this technology? This is gonna make it way easier. I can finally put it on my third monitor, which is across my room upside down.
Well.
So in summary... No, what am I doing? Hold on. Give me a second. I'm learning technology. So in summary...
It's okay, I'm enjoying my Johnny Pop.
Murderous intentions, then. Why did you get a Johnny Pop literally right before the
The point is this. That Englishwoman was a blight, so I had to do what was right for society.
You joined the call 10 minutes before the stream started. How long have you been eating the same popsicle?
Since right before the stream started.
So you had an unopened Johnny Pop just laying around for 10 minutes. Then started the stream.
No, I grabbed it when I went to get my water. And I opened the Johnny Pop when I got back to my room. And then proceeded to start the stream, yes.
Well, that was certainly a decision.
Yes, but would you have known if I hadn't said anything?
No. The second question is, why did you say anything?
I don't know. Yet a real wrong was done by the student girl in the dock, a crime for which she must pay. I feel like this guy should at least still get a soul, you know?
Oh, see, now I can tell. I could tell there's popsicle happening just now.
Obviously, because the poisoning was nothing to do with me
Oh,
at all.
You're not trying to hide it.
Why would I bother to stab if I've already poisoned her? Give yourself an alibi.
So you still maintain that you didn't give the poison to the victim?
Oh yeah, Mulliguy's gonna maybe be a software engineer now. That's fun. Getting a related job right out of college, imagine. Says I
don't have
who
to.
didn't graduate college.
You didn't graduate college. What do you mean? It's actually quite easy to get the first job out of college. They just normally suck. I think you'll find.
Obviously, that'd be like putting a belt on your trousers when you were already wearing braces like these. The accused administered the poison, following which this witness stabbed the victim. An unforgivable act, certainly, but not one of murder. That crime rests on the accused's shoulders. That is how the law works, you see, yokel. Who knows, you may even learn something here today.
Well, good luck, Molo guy. Hopefully, that goes well. Or, well, I guess continues to go well if you've got, like, second round interviews or whatever. I hope you get it, and that it doesn't suck too much. I don't know. I'm very, I just assume most corporate and professional jobs suck shit until I'm told otherwise at this point.
Yeah.
It's a stunning correlation. Two consecutive attempts on her life in the space of minutes. Quite a day for the victim.
Do something that evil when you've got it coming. That's how the law works. The law of reckoning.
That's how law works.
Hello, Brockwater. That's how mafia work.
Hey, Brock. Oh, fuck, this is still me.
Yeah.
That's not the kind of law this court upholds. You will reiterate why you were compelled to stab the victim, then, witness.
I had to. A ghost made me do it or something.
So, like, so the thing is, even by his own admission, he's committing murder. Because, like, he didn't know she was poisoned. Well, he did know she was poisoned, right? But his story is, oh, I didn't know she was poisoned. I just got so mad I stabbed her. And then it turned out she was poisoned, so I didn't kill her. I'm like, well, okay, but by your own logic, you not knowing that she was poisoned would then make this murder.
That would make it at least attempted murder, because you were trying to murder her.
Yeah, I think in a lot of states, at least, that would count as just full-out murder, basically. Or at least a type of manslaughter.
Yeah, like, it's... Like, at best, it's like second degree, right? Because that's like you didn't do it on purpose, but you still did it.
I think you mean it worse.
I think. Yes.
Because the thing, well, it depends, kind of. It depends on the specific statutes. Because there's some places, like, premeditation can just be like, you thought about it for even 1 second, basically.
You saw a knife on the counter and went, I'm using that.
But it depends, and I'm not a lawyer.
Yeah.
Or a software engineer. I could list lots of things I'm not. I'm not a big fan of goats. Nah, I love goats. Have you ever seen them? They're crazy.
Something joke about D&D, is this a gender swap of great ace attorney? No, this is, in the time period of the game, women aren't allowed to be in court, so she put on a hat.
She put on a hat.
She put Susato put on a hat, and nobody knows.
Naruto is still in British land.
Yeah, he's still in England.
As we have not seen him. This is the first. This is like the tutorial court, and we've been here for 6 hours. It's crazy. No,
this is chapter 1 of the second game.
Yeah. Chapter 1, game 2.
Yes.
Revolutions or something.
Yes.
What exactly were they arguing about? I don't know either.
About what happened in that restaurant 9 months ago, that's what. The student girl was laying into the Englishwoman for killing her beloved mentor, Dr. Wilson.
Yes, John H. Wilson. A professor of medicine, invited here from England by Professor Migotoba, no less.
Right, but the Englishwoman just jeered. Her case was to be heard by the British Consular Court in Shanghai. However, there was little doubt that she would simply have been acquitted and sent back to her homeland a free woman. It was eating that student girl up inside. You could see it. I really felt for her. Hold up. Hold it, says someone.
Hold it. It's probably Ray.
Her probably. Yep.
Remember.
I can't.
Well then,
I can't stand here and listen to this tripe. Yeah, you're.
There might be spoilers. I think.
Probably.
Probably. I assume. Things have happened in the first game that I assume will be relevant in this game. So, but if you're okay with that, continue on. Ray. Ray!
Young girl, you stand accused here. You can't just blurt out whenever you feel like it.
Oh, can't I?
No, you can't. Sorry, but I'm in the middle of some very important testimony here. Just keep quiet and listen.
Shut the fuck up!
But this awful man is making all of this up. Susato, please, you have to make them listen. Who?
Who is Susato? Who is Susato, I say? Daring at Ray. Who is Susato? The one starts trying to get evidence for a Japanese man. Oh, when you first meet,
What's his ass?
Haiku man. What is his name? I've already forgotten.
He's literally right here.
Listen.
He's just off screen, and I can't remember his name.
Listen.
He's a real man that existed, and I can't remember his name.
He's a person. Listen, I don't read poetry unless it's by Dr. Seuss. One fish, two fish. Fuck, I forgot the rest.
I'm literally blanking. I'm
It's
trying really hard.
Red fish, blue fish.
Yeah,
Oh no, you're talking about his name still. Oh wait.
Soseki
Legal
Natsume.
concept of having the intention of committing a crime is called mens rea. Ah, Soseki Natsume. Got where you're playing your Steam Deck. Yes. Anyway. Return to the dock at once, Madame Misan. We are in the middle of a cross-examination. Howdy, Governor.
Governor.
I remember that she's slightly British, but then the whole that is just more British than I forget every time. Your Excellency, please, I implore you. That journalist is clearly not a trustworthy witness.
Exactly. He's a filthy, rotten, black-hearted, bigoted,
Keep going.
dirty, great peeping Tom. Whoa! Take it easy there.
Please, I really think the court should hear what the defendant has to say.
Your Excellency, I see no need whatsoever to entertain the accused's remarks.
I will grant the request of the defense.
You will? But Your Excellency!
This is likely to be the final cross-examination of these proceedings. And as such, I believe it will be ill-advised to stifle the defendant's obvious concerns. Thanks, Judge.
Thanks, Judge.
Ooh, fuck yeah, we should connect on LinkedIn. You can see my headshot from 5 years ago when there was a LinkedIn photo booth at my college.
Ooh.
And wouldn't that be funny? Because all my connections on LinkedIn are accountants. And then there'd just be a random non-accountant in there. And you'd be like, how did that happen? That doesn't make any sense.
Just a random software engineer from Mexico.
That'd be funny as hell. They'd be like, oh, yeah. No, yeah, I'll verify that. I'm sure, yeah, Mole guy's got that skill. Yeah, no, yeah. No, that makes sense. Dude, I get so many LinkedIn emails, Molo guy. I haven't opened LinkedIn in like fucking 2. It's one of those things where like I don't post on LinkedIn because I've got a job.
Right.
So like I ignore it again. And I just constantly get fucking emails from them where they're like, ooh, all these people are trying to connect with you, and I'm like, nope, they're just a bunch of recruiters, and I'm good, I'm cool. I used to politely decline their requests individually, and then I just gave up, and I'm like, if they're using templates, I'm just gonna not even respond.
If they can't bother to personalize, I'm not gonna bother to decline them.
So, whilst recognizing that this contravenes regular protocol, I hereby call upon the defendant to speak.
Oh.
There are also bots everywhere. And weird scams? There's like a lot of scams going around LinkedIn these days.
That's kind of
very
wild.
strange. Strange times.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency. It was nothing to do with Dr. Wilson. We were discussing the stolen poison. The Quartz one gonna the summon the procedures. Alright, let's press that.
Hold it!
The stolen poison that killed the victim, you mean?
Brett's poison? The poison specifically for Brett? I suspected her of being the one to steal it. I mean, just think about how she killed Dr. Wilson.
Serious question. Do you think Kronk would be nearly as iconic if it wasn't like Patrick Warburton's iconic voice in the role? Like if it was another like decent voice actor but just didn't have that? I feel like Kronk would be a lot less iconic.
Very possible. It's a kill. It was killer casting for sure.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if they wrote Kronk for Patrick Warburton.
Because it's really good. It's really, really, really good. Speaking of that, I've been thinking about watching Adventure Brothers or whatever. Venture Bros? I think that's what it's called.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've always heard about it, never watched much of it.
That's incredible, Brock. We in order to make our scam seem believable, we copied the website, but worse.
Okay, Danny DeVito would have been a hell of a pull, though.
That would have been a wild choice for the character. Just the exact same movie, but he sounds like Danny DeVito the whole time.
The poison for Cusco. And then Kronk, or Patrick would have been the voice of that satyr guy in, what's
Get
it,
up
Phil?
on the Hydra's back.
Hercules.
Stupid.
That's true. Additionally, Miss Brett certainly had knowledge of the new poison.
Surely it would be no easy task to steal a highly secret toxin being developed for the government.
Indeed, all visitors to the laboratory are thoroughly searched when they leave. Even if a thief managed to avoid being seen by myself or a colleague, getting the poison out would be very difficult.
How searched? Oh God, he's here. That's true. I pestered Professor Mikatoba until he agreed to show me the poison when I visited his laboratory.
Why?
But as I left, I was searched from top to tail.
Miss Brett rather bluntly revealed the existence of the toxin we've been developing, you see. And since Soseki-san expressed such an interest in it, I felt unable to refuse. Obviously, I gave nothing away other than the fact that it was an extremely potent substance.
Potable. I'm very ashamed of myself. It's just that I've had a singularly terrible experience with a deadly poison. I don't at all know what that's a callback to.
I don't either.
I'm sure it's the first game, but I don't.
I don't remember there being poison involved with his case.
I don't remember his case at all, other than he didn't do it.
I think his case was the one with the police officer, and it ended up that the victim didn't even die or something.
Hilarious.
It was like the one on the snowy street, I think.
Oh. It was like a fake LinkedIn.
Oh. That's incredible.
LinkedIn, but it's two N's at the end.
Lonked on. This is my new website, Locked In, where only gamers are allowed.
You gotta be locked the fuck in! Rise and grind, gamers. I wanted to look my old enemy in the eye. Surely you can understand that?
Like, the only poisoning I remember for sure in the first game was... Well, no, he didn't even die from poison. He was... Fucking McGilded was burned alive.
Did this man just claim that he is enemies with the concept of poison?
I guess so.
I think he's gonna lose that one.
To find out if my suspicions were true, I confronted Miss Brett about the poison. Unless he just goes full, like, fucking... He just goes full fucking guy from Princess Bride. What's his ass? And just has taken so many poisons that they're no longer effective.
Main guy. What's his name?
Princess.
Well, he was going by the Dread Pirate Roberts, right?
Yeah.
At that point.
I want to say William, but I don't think that's correct.
It's like William, I think.
Wesley.
It sounds right.
Thank you, chat.
Wesley. There it is.
I told you.
I remember the giant is named Fezzik. Does that help you?
That was more than I remembered. I told them
I only
that
know that because of Magic the Gathering. They did Princess Bride's Secret Lair.
Oh, hell yeah.
And I traded the Fezzik card to my buddy Steve, who has a Giants deck, and it was Andre the Giants card is a reprint of a giant.
Makes sense.
Hmm.
Yeah, Inigo Montoya.
No, Inigo Montoya. How can you forget Inigo Montoya?
He says
That
his name.
one.
He says his name a lot.
He says his name so many times. My name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die.
I told them
My
that if there
name-
were to be an incident involving it
It's
somehow,
Inigo Montoya.
it wouldn't just be to the university. The military would be dragged into it. The whole government, even. It would be a complete disaster.
And how did Miss Brett respond to your concerns?
I bet she said lol.
She said Lamau, but I don't know what that means.
She just curled those beautiful lips of hers and said she didn't know the first thing about it. In English,
Beautiful
actually.
lips. Hmm.
Ah, yes, Many Memo-san. One small question, if you don't mind.
Ray is not beating the allegations.
No.
I do mind. Can't you see I'm busy? Clearly you were outside the beach hut listening in whilst the defendant and Miss Brett were conversing. Presumably, then, it was you who wrote this article about what you'd heard. Exclusive! Deadly poison stolen from Yume Medical Research Laboratory. The story was published in this morning's edition of Show You News. The details are too accurate for it to have been written by anyone else. Sorry, don't know what you're talking about. Ha ha.
Yes, look at this. The entire article. It's almost what I said to Miss Brett word for word.
Yeah!
Meh. Well, Many Memo-san.
Yeah, as a journo and as a citizen of a free country, I don't have to reveal my sources. That's the founding principle of Many Memoism.
Doesn't even want to play SMH, Mulligan, SMH. Father's clearly right about this. That reporter did write that article, and he based it on what he overheard from outside the hut.
Do we have the words of that article? Poison article.
Yeah, this was this thing, remember?
Yeah. From Blade. I mean, it doesn't have the details of the conversation, but it does have how the poison works. So he would know how it works. The details of the poison article have been updated in the court record. Okay, well. Now I'm going to look at it
Correct.
again.
That is in fact how Battle of Wits works. That's a weird card. I won't lie. That one's a goofy one. Hard to make Battle of Wits work.
No, this is the same. Okay, so it just says...
I forgot that was one of the cards in the secret layer. Because right, it's got the guys arguing about the poison. Hilarious.
So that's what it was all about. You were trying to cover up the fact that you were listening in. That's why you came up with that stinking story about me arguing with her.
Shut up! My stories never stink! Look, whatever you say, little girl, it doesn't alter the facts. Your Excellency, there's something I want to say, and I want it to go on record.
The last words of many Ace Attorney fucking,
I want to go on record. I should make an Inigo deck. Be pretty good. Just Naya creatures. That'd be alright. I forgot there's a rodents of unusual size in this lair.
Oh, hell yeah.
What a good secret lair. Really gotta use some of these cards and something.
Very well, you may amend your formal testimony.
He's getting locked in now. Dude's going absolutely
The
feral
point is,
with
if you'd
it.
poisoned someone, there'd be no reason to then go and stab the person as well.
I'll hold it.
Hold it!
Oh?
Steven might have watched that. Seems a big, great,
I have not seen
gross
the-
attorney.
I've not seen the live action movie yet.
Surprising.
It's one of those things I want to do eventually. I've seen, like, clips from, like, stage versions of Ace Attorney that are pretty good. Gumshoe is a big old goofball in them. It's really, really solid. And then I've seen the anime, which was fine.
Perhaps you doubted the efficacy of your poison and sought to make sure your victim would die.
That's horse dung.
What?
That would be like pouring pepper on your Chinese ramen before you'd even tasted it. Completely reckless. Although, it might surprise you to learn that I am a bit of an impetuous pepper pour, as it happens. What?
What? Once the victim had taken the poison, she would have been only minutes away from death. Maybe she drank the poison after she got stabbed.
The movie, it's giant holograms you throw at the prosecution or defense. Yeah. In the anime, it's fun too because, first of all, they do a thing I really like in the anime where anytime that anybody is touching evidence, they put on gloves, and I'm like, yes, excellent, that's good. But also, like, when people do the pointing, it does literally just blow other people backwards sometimes. Really fun visually.
And yet, this man then proceeded to stab her in the back as well. There has to have been a good reason for that.
If it was the reporter who gave the poison to Miss Brett, then clearly he must have done it prior to Ray entering the hut.
Yes, that's undeniable.
But between him leaving the hut and the victim being stabbed, there was one very crucial change in the situation.
Sorry, what change?
The reporter overheard the conversation between Ray and the Englishwoman.
Ah, yes, that's it. That's when Many Memo-san found out the exact nature of the poison he'd used. That could be the key here.
If the victim had unwittingly taken the poison already, the reporter would have had no reason to stab her. On the face of it, that logic sounds entirely reasonable.
But there's no question that this man was responsible for Miss Brett's murder.
If we can think of a plausible explanation as to why he might have stabbed her even after the poisoning, I feel sure that everything would drop into place. That's what we should be looking for.
Yes, I agree. In order to do that, I must try to glean more information.
Alright, I don't think there was anything we didn't press. So, I think we've got all the information we're gonna get. Got my goat. Yeah, that was what led to this. We were discussing the stolen poison. So the point is, this would be the new thing. There'd be no reason to go and stab the person as well. So this must be something in this paper, but I don't know what specifically.
I guess we should look at it again just to see.
Being secretly developed and blah blah. Either be a mouth or wound would prove fatal in minutes. Current methods cannot detect the newly chemical. The university would have to be consulted.
He didn't want the university consulted, I guess?
Possibly. Apparently new synthesis alkaloids. Oh, maybe he didn't know it had something to do with the military?
It's something along those lines. I don't know exactly what the game's going for, I'll be honest.
I mean, what's just...
It's either that he didn't want to ruin it for the military because he's like super hyper-nationalist, or he didn't want them going back to the university because then they would have been able to like narrow down who had access to the poison.
Yeah, I think maybe that's it.
Something
we're
like
gonna,
that.
We're gonna do this and we're gonna see what the game says. Cause like, this is clearly what it wants.
Yeah. It's one of those things like, I know what you're going for, but I don't know entirely why yet. Well, I can... Well... Sorry, sometimes that just happens to me when I say, well... Well... I can think of one.
I don't even know what that's a reference to specifically.
It's just Ronald Reagan. It's just the way Reagan said well. I don't know why that gets... It's just like... It's like a, you know, it's like a mind virus.
What?
Sometimes I see the word well and my mind's like, you have to say that like Ronald Reagan right now.
You must.
You must. It's like, oh, there was another one of those. I can't remember it.
I've got a few of those. For sure.
It's like how sometimes I see the word China and I feel the urge to suddenly be like, China?
Bangkok.
Oh, no said. There's another one of those that I've been dealing with lately, but I don't remember what it is.
Where are you? Gets me every time.
Where are you? And I'm so sorry.
Or every time this game says, "Look at this photograph."
Yeah, that's a good one.
Look at this photograph.
Man, I'm completely blanking on that one. But there's one I've got that's like a real knee-jerk reaction. That my mind just immediately... It happened the other day. Someone said the word ruckus, and my brain immediately began playing part of the Wu-Tang Clan song, Bring the Ruckus. Bring the motherfucking ruckus. I'm sorry. My mind is a soup at this point.
Who can say why some things connect to other things in there?
But before I explain, I'd like you to confirm something for the court. Hit or miss? I guess I never miss, huh? Did you glean all the information for this newspaper article from what you overheard outside the hut? Of course he did. There can be no question of that. After all, when we were all in the laboratory together, all we were told is that it was a terrible toxin. There's one more important fact to consider.
I guess they never miss, huh?
I guess they never miss, huh? I guess you never miss. According to the witness, Mabami-san's verbal attack against the victim began as soon as she entered the hut. In other words, it would have been impossible for her to have slipped the poison into Miss Brett's drink.
Oh.
Where are you going with this, Counsel?
Up your ass and around the corner. Many
Booyah.
Memos-san has made it quite clear that he observed every single thing that happened in the beach hut. If the defendant had somehow found an opportunity, this man would have seen it.
Ah! Which means that... Sorry, that one was really aggressive.
Which means that Miss Brett couldn't have imbibed the poison while the defendant was present. In fact, it must have been administered to her before Membami-san entered the hut.
You see one obscure detail. I think you forgot the entire case.
Josh did this so many times with the original trilogy.
I
would
do
just-
that.
he
I
would-
do that.
He would just partway through the case, and because like I've played Ace Attorney like probably a half dozen times already before. I've just been playing it with Josh and sometimes Swissy, like for streams, and I've been pretending to not know what's going on for their sakes. But like about half the time, Josh will just say something like, "Oh, that's what happened," and I'm just being like, "Oh, maybe," and secretly I'm like, "Damn it." He's too smart.
Listen, there's only so many patterns that you'll see, you know?
It's why I play games like this, though, is for that like aha moment. It feels good every time.
Professor Layton, that's that hat guy, right? He got like a big dumb hat.
Yeah, I want to play those games eventually too. Those are more like puzzle games, but I don't actually know that much about them.
Yes, very articulately put.
He's British, and his assistant talks to animals.
Oh.
Yeah.
Huh.
When I walked into the hut, I immediately started to press Miss Brett about the poison.
At which point, Memi Memo-san overheard some worrying information.
Worrying information? What worrying information?
The information which he subsequently included in his newspaper article. Namely, that the poison was being developed in strict secrecy and that it couldn't be readily obtained. So it was just about... Yeah, it was just like that part where it said they would have to go back to the university. Like...
Which means there would only be like maybe 6 people who would...
There'd be like
this
6
poison.
people. And one of them was dead from the poison, so...
Yeah.
Like...
Absolutely. In fact, that's quite an understatement. This is the only possible place it could come from is my lab.
And furthermore, anyone afflicted by the poison would exhibit telltale signs in death.
The extreme construction of the pupils. Yes, it's quite stark when you see it. There are other poisons that show similar symptoms, but not among new substances that are undetectable.
In other words, it would be clear that the victim's life had been ended by the use of this particular poison. Smack. Which would reduce the number of suspects to only a handful of people. Bwah!
Everyone in my laboratory is aware of the unique properties of the toxin we've been developing. None of them would be foolish enough to attempt to use it for some nefarious deed. Nambami-san being no exception.
Therefore, we can conclude that whoever administered this unique poison to the victim hosted an online melee tournament Sunday, got 101 unique viewers. Nice. That's crazy, Molo guy. Look at this. Look at the big man on campus.
Big numbers on this guy.
Look at the this is doing numbers. Great success. Well, excellent. Excellent. I'm glad. Was the tournament fun? Did you have a good time hosting it? I hope so. Ooh, you got a little logo.
It's me. That's me. I'm the artist. He's paying.
You got a little logo.
Paid me $45.
You got a little. You got a little logo from some sort of schmuck on the internet.
Some loser.
Damn, Steven, you should make logos for these streams. Clearly, they're bangers.
Oh, hey, thanks for the sub, Brock.
Around a bit too long, but it was fun. Tournaments like to do that.
Yeah.
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 They always go just a little longer than you want them to. Was a layperson unaware of its telltale properties.
He's just over here groaning.
In other words, someone like you write in many memo.
Yeah! Sick of the ads. Yeah, I'm sorry. I wish I had control over that.
Yeah, I've really been upping those lately. They must want more money. That's my guess.
I mean, yeah, probably.
I've got a bold guess. Twitch.television, owned by Amazon, must want more currency.
Holler, holler,
No one will
get
believe
dollar.
me. No one will believe me at all.
Hot take.
I'm outside like one of those "the world is ending" prophets with the cardboard sign, but mine just says Amazon wants money. And everyone's like, "Yeah, no, that's pretty obvious." And I'm like, "You'll see. You don't believe me now, but you'll see." Like I just
You'll
act
all
like everyone.
see.
I act like everyone's disagreeing with me, and no one is. We've got to have money. I love that clip. It's
That's
so
another
good.
one that's...
That's another one. That's a good one. Shoo. It was you who stole the poison from the laboratory that day, and it was you who administered it to the unwitting victim. But you quickly realized that it was a terrible mistake.
Because the poison caused such unusual symptoms and was so traceable.
I'm becoming Mr. Businessman, making stuff, contracting people, having a LinkedIn. Oh, look at Mr. Businessman over here. Watch out, Molo guy. Soon you'll be wearing suspenders and putting your thumbs under the suspender straps, and like you'll be wearing like some nice fucking fly-ass looking loafers, and you'll be like, I'm Mr. Businessman.
You'll have a tie and a tie clip.
You'll be walking around with your sport coat, and you'll be like, this sport coat's a navy blue. It's a nice neutral color. I can style it with jeans for a casual fit, or with chinos if I need to look more professional. Sorry, I had a moment.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, when you... So you don't have to go into the office like maybe once a year or something, right? Do you bother dressing up for that occasion?
Why out of the, my current office? I mean, I just wear jeans and a polo. That's what I've kind of worn at most of my office jobs. I've never been in an office job that had a very strict policy unless you were meeting with clients.
Every retailer I've ever worked at has had a more strict policy than like the businesses you work for, I think.
Yeah, that's because, again, they usually don't care much unless you're client-facing these days. So
which is fair.
At my middle of the 3 jobs, I did have to wear khakis. But I've never like worn a tie every day.
No need. It'd be very funny to me if you just wore a full suit into your fucking spare bedroom every day.
Yeah, I usually just throw on. I own a lot of polos, so usually wear polos when I work from home. But then I wear fucking basketball shorts, cause like who's gonna know?
Who's gonna
How
know?
would they know? The camera doesn't go down that far on my laptop anyway. Requires khakis. Yeah, there's still a lot of places that are like you need to have like khakis and a button down, or khakis and a polo. Jeans.
I am
like
I am technically required to tuck in
the
my shirt,
next
but
step.
I don't because I'm fat.
He's starting a worker co-op. First thing to figure out how to make money from this thing.
Yeah,
Yeah. Godspeed.
that's the part.
As you listened in from the far side of the beach hut's thin walls, you learnt of these facts. But you'd already given the victim the poison at that point. It was too late. So you hatched a plan to disguise your mistake. A plan involved stabbing the victim in the back through the reed screen.
Objection? But what good could that possibly do?
Isn't it obvious, Counsel? Sort of in an IT position hostile, I guess like a little dapper. So I think every time I went, well, yeah, because IT part. Because every time I've been to a hospital, most of the nurses and doctors just look tired. Godspeed.
Yeah,
I couldn't even imagine being in the medical industry.
overworked and underpaid, mostly.
It's called the American dream, I'll have you know.
It's like it's one of those things where like I don't know how shitheads get into the medical field because like you can't. Like it's not for the money. The work is so bad. The work is so bad that I don't know why you'd bother with that much school if you don't care about people a little bit. But I feel like a lot of people do get like jaded by the time they're done with their like tenure or whatever.
Probably.
It seems like a job that
Probably.
sucks ass. I could never. Did you read this? Oh god, I'm choking. Ah!
No. Let me read this. Are you good? You dying? Let me come there and
Yeah.
Heimlich you?
Yeah, I'm fine. I just had to take a drink.
Okay, Heimlich time.
Oh no.
Your footsteps approaching
Dun, dun, dun,
rapidly.
dun.
I hope I never have to Heimlich someone, because I'll probably fuck it up and kill them faster. I've thought about it a lot.
There's a new
Man-
device
but-
that is apparently supposed to allow anybody to do it. So what it does, right, is it creates like a vacuum around your mouth passage. We just got training on this thing about at work. I don't think we actually have them yet, but it's a thing that goes around like the mouth and nose and creates a vacuum, and you press into it, which presses the air out of it like through the sides, and then you pull back up on it, which because of the vacuum causes whatever's lodged in the throat to like come out.
Huh.
And I'm like,
Technology.
that's pretty neat. It's just a weird
Now-
little plastic guy.
Now they need to make it a little robot that looks like a face hugger from Alien. And Aliens. And you like imagine that you're choking on something and a little skittering robot fucking leaps at your face. That'd be awesome. Do not resist.
I am helping.
The plan was to kill Miss Brett before the poison could take effect.
Once in the blood, the poison causes the onset of pupil constriction. But he had hoped to precipitate the victim's death before that happened, hadn't he?
Exactly. Because without any revealing signs of the new secret poison's use, no one would have ever suspected.
This is extraordinary.
Yes, the effects of the poison meant it would be too easily identified, so the killer had to mask its use. Which he attempted to do by plunging a knife into the middle of the victim's back.
Nyah, nyah.
He's gonna recover and be like, then how did I get the poison? How did I even get it?
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be
Order,
defined
order.
a little bit, though.
The argument presented is sound. The coroner's right that it warrants consideration. Does the prosecution have a counter argument? It was it before?
I like that this judge is like
Fairly reasonable.
pretty
all
reasonable
things
and very
considered.
into procedure, right?
Yeah, this is the best judge by far. The other judges are like insane to me.
Extremely wacky.
I have
Yes.
fondness for the original judge just because he seems straight up senile. It's goofy as hell.
Well, there are a number of. Yes, I counter completely.
Objection. The prosecution's evasive response clearly shows that in much the same way as he nurtures the remnants of his top knot, he is clinging to his last hope.
Lost hope? Blah!
The argument might be sound, but it is also light.
Hold it, says I assume. Many
Memo,
probably.
probably.
Hold it, probably.
Hold it! And then we start laughing like a villain.
Ooh, shit!
Oh, he threw his hat all the
you
way to the
pathetic,
floor.
useless fallen samurai! Fallen? Who are you calling fallen? My burgeoning growth is on the rise. I don't need a counter-argument.
What? What are you talking about?
It should be blatantly obvious. I stole the poison, you say, gave it to the victim, you say, stabbed her, you say. Lots of fine theories.
Well, no, you said you stabbed her.
We didn't say that.
Okay,
You did.
you admitted that you did in fact stab her. Let's be clear about that one.
But I don't need a
Wake the fuck
counter-argument
up,
because you
samurai.
don't have an argument yourself. Where's your evidence? Oh shit, we forgot that part. Yes, you make it all sound
They
so
always ask
plausible,
about
don't
evidence.
you? But without evidence, it means nothing. Whereas I base my news on facts.
Fact? What do you mean? Explain yourself.
I mean, what the professor said earlier in this trial. It's all here in my many memos, every word. Shut up.
Wow, they
every
really
slip of the tongue,
spelled it
all
out, huh?
noted. Just in case you didn't get it by this point. That's what the Show You News is famous for. It's the power of the printed word. He can just like, he's like reading it out, but he can barely read his handwriting.
it's like way too chicken scratchy.
How's that then? Blown the story wide open?
What?
See, I write a mini memo, a mere reporter from Show You News, couldn't possibly have stolen that poison from the professor's laboratory.
Ah! But there can't be any question of it. He must have stolen the poison that day. He stole it and used it to kill. And if that's the case, as you've identified, the poison itself is the definitive evidence we need. Because whoever stole it from the laboratory that day is the true culprit here.
What's your point, you annoyingly handsome country bumpkin?
What? My point is this. There's only one way that you, Many Memo-san, could have stolen the poison that day.
Ah!
I've heard enough verbal conjecture now, thank you. What the court must be shown is evidence. What proof do you have that the witness stole the poison on the day in question?
I assume we gotta do the pen first, and then, like...
It's either the poison or the chemical reagent, right? It's
Right.
like, we know that there's poison in the pen, but we haven't...
I assume we have to show the... It's
Maybe
really
we
a
have to show the
50-50
reagent
what they want.
first, right?
First?
Because it'd be like...
Either we show the
using
reagent, they
this.
say, what do you use it on? Or they want us to show the pen first, and then say, what? And then show the reagent. I don't think it really matters. We have like 4 tries, so just pick one
Yeah,
of the two.
I think this is the more likely.
Maybe both of them work, even.
No, this feels like generic dialogue, and she's panicking. This isn't it. No, okay, well I guess it's the pen. Then.
Because I think the way this game normally likes to work is it's like, here's the thing, and then they go, what? What do you mean? And then you have to do the second part. Usually.
The file in which the poison is kept is still in the laboratory, which means that the thief must have
Yes,
transferred
no, I
a
know,
quantity
it's
of
in
it
the
to
pen.
another container. Okay.
I picked, it was a 50-50.
So what you're saying is...
We lost the coin flip. I get it, game.
Let's
Let
have
it be
another
known
good
that,
look.
I thought that I was like
No, you were right.
60-40 on it being the pen.
You were right.
But I was wrong about the
I was-
last 50-50.
I was trying to outplay the game and be like, aha, usually it would be like, I present the pen, and then I go, what, the pen? That's fucking stupid. So I was trying to outthink the double think.
Yeah, see,
And then I
no,
thought
no,
zero
the game,
times.
The game always makes you do it this way. They love doing it. The proof, Your Excellency, is this fountain pen.
Ah!
A fountain pen? How could that possibly be relevant?
These magical pens somehow seem to have enough ink to write many thousands of kanji characters.
What?
I believe they arrived in our country for the first time some 15 years ago now.
I don't see how this part is relevant.
This
Bah!
is nothing. What do you...
I swear by a weasel hair calligraphy brush and nothing else. These newfangled pens are merely a fad.
Well, as a forward-thinking man of words, obviously I love my fountain pen. Suck up a whoa, what?
A what?
Soup.
Sousson?
Why, that's...
It's
sousson.
French. It's French.
It's French. I can tell you it's French. That doesn't help me, unfortunately. Hold on. I'm bringing the stream to a halt so I can figure this out.
Something about Mall guy saying "speak American" is very funny to me.
Speak American. Soupçon. A very small quality of something. A soupçon. Suck up a soupçon of sumptuous ink, and one's work is awash with words in the blink of an eye. That's right. What the hell is a kanji? Speak American. We need to go at 0.5 steps, exactly.
Yeah.
Fountain pens have a small reservoir in the barrel, into which ink is sucked up through the nib of the pen in order to write with later. That is, in fact, how they work.
What is all this
They have
talking of
usually have
sucking
a
up
little-
ink have? Ah.
Sucking up ink. Just as it's possible to suck ink up into the reservoir, it's also possible to eject it through the nib again, of course. Yeah, it's like you gotta get the ink out.
My word, can this really be?
Well, some. When you saw the deadly poison before your eyes in the laboratory that day, you used your fountain pen, your very lifeblood, to steal some of it, didn't you? By siphoning the poison up through the nib and into the pen's reservoir.
Yeah.
Dude, his hat's not down there anymore. Where
I
did it
know,
go?
where'd it go?
Did it turn into dust when he threw it?
More absurdity. That never happened.
He clipped it through the floor in his anger. True, we've heard that there were procedures in place to prevent thefts like this from the laboratory. But would anyone have thought to look inside a fountain pen of all places?
No, I'm a little ashamed to say that for fear of offending our guests, such a detailed search would not have been conducted.
Well, this is quite startling, I must say.
I remind the court that this pen was found in the clutches of the victim when she died. In other words, it was dropped at the scene by Many Memo-san.
Oh, he breathing.
Bro is a heathen. So the crucial question is, when exactly was the pen dropped?
Are you suggesting?
The natural conclusion is that in your haste, you killed her.
Eh?
In your haste to act whilst the victim was distracted for a moment, you dropped the pen after you emptied the poison from it into her glass.
Okay, I thought we would have to prove that part, but she just knows it. Thanks. That's actually helpful. Thank you.
Thank you.
There could be any number of alternative explanations. For example, the witness could have been using his pen to write down details of his conversation with the victim. And when shocked by one of her outrageous answers, the pen fell from his quivering hand.
No.
Huh?
No, that can't be. If it was, how do you explain why the pen was devoid of ink?
What?
As you can see for yourself if you examine the evidence, there would appear to be no ink present in the reservoir. What newspaper reporter goes to interview someone with nothing in his pen? No, the pen was dropped after the poison that filled its reservoir had been emptied into the victim's glass.
Yeah.
Witness, what do you have to say in your defense?
So this is how our modern justice system works, is it? Wah! So what if the ink in my pen runs dry? So what if my pencil snaps? Whoa.
Oh, he's going Wolverine on
I
us.
can always claw my way back into the game. I have plenty in reserve. Yeah! Why did...
Oh.
You claim I sucked the poison up into my pen? That's... That's wild speculation, nothing more. If you thought you could bring down a fine, upstanding citizen with a trick like that, think again. Looks as though it's going to take one final decisive blow to finish this matter.
Yeah, I'm assuming, Brock, they definitely didn't clarify this, but I'm assuming
he must have
he somehow emptied the pen of all ink somehow. Maybe it was
in the lab without anyone noticing.
I don't know how he pulled that off, but they're implying that he only had poison in the pen somehow.
Yeah.
Somehow. Through magic, I guess.
As I see it, the situation is now very simple. It rests upon whether or not this witness did indeed steal the poison on the day in question. And therefore, it all depends on whether or not the defense can prove that he did it with evidence.
Ha! No such evidence could possibly exist!
Nah, it was just wine.
Huh?
I want a sinister brew, though.
Brew.
Brew. Many Memo-san. This is how our modern justice system works.
What?
In the courtroom, evidence is everything. Something you would do well to remember. Because we are well past the point of speculation at this stage, I assure you.
Very well then. I call upon the defense to present the aforementioned evidence.
This is it then. This will be the final piece in the puzzle. The defense can prove by means of this item that it was the witness's pen that was used to steal the poison. The knife!
The knife!
Counsel, what is that bottle?
Straight whiskey.
This bottle contains the unique chemical reagent that can identify the poison in question.
Ah! Yes, that poison is an entirely new synthesis of alkaloids developed by my colleagues and I. It would be impossible to detect trace of any other means. The mouth got away from me for a second there.
Or, from another perspective,
Whoops.
simply with this chemical reagent, anybody at all could check for traces of the poison.
A reagent? What?
One drop of the contents of this bottle on the tip of your fountain pen, Many Memo-san, is all it will take to solve this case beyond all reasonable doubt. Reagent.
In it. No, you can't. I won't. Your crimes are bad enough, but at least know when to admit defeat.
Your Excellency, the defense requests permission to carry out the test on the fountain pen at once.
Yeah. Oh shit! Oh god! This isn't my fault! The Empire drove me to do this, trying to help high as a civilized nation! The bowing event before we bowed away took hours of the mighty pen, fought tirelessly with battlefield news, all in the name of justice, righteousness, and many members. Uh-oh. Susato, with me!
I'm there! Your line was very late!
I was expecting it to stop at some point in there. Did I do it right? That was a Susato takedown, wasn't it?
Not quite. That was a Ryutaro takedown. Stop outing me.
Please, you have to get
Ray
better
for-
at this.
Ray for 5 goddamn minutes. The instant the first drop of the reagent touched the nib of the fountain pen, it was clear to everyone present.
Aw, you look so sad.
When I
Aw,
saw
him?
it
He's a murderer.
When I saw it in the lab, the poison, the devil got hold of me and
The devil got hold
I
of
decided
me.
to do it on a whim. I excused myself and emptied all the ink down the sink in the bathroom, washing the reservoir out carefully. Oh,
Ah, see, he went to the bathroom and dumped all of the ink. And then you waited for an opportunity to suck up some of the poison, didn't you?
I wish they would stop saying it that way.
Greedy little piggy wanted to suck up all the poison. Into your fountain pen.
Yes, that's right. Answer me one thing, Memo-san. Why did you steal it? For what purpose? Isn't it obvious? To find out what it was made of and expose it in an article. I mean, it was a secret project after all, too juicy for a journo like me to pass up. Then why did the Englishwoman end up dead? I went into that hut intending to quiz her on her situation, that's all, as a reporter. A known killer enjoying full freedom, evading justice by leaving the country. I told her what I thought about it. And she just laughed in my face!
Oh, what's this? A Far Eastern caveman purporting to practice journalism? Really, you must learn the difference between reporting and listening at doorways, you ignorant plebeian.
Oh no, she called him a plebe.
What did you call me?
This country, with its pretensions to a justice system, to a free press, it's really very depressing. You see our superior ways in the West, yet you lack the mental capacity to emulate them. Oh no, the racism is coming
Hilarious.
back. Get out of here,
Hilarious.
you oaf. Get out and crawl back into the cave you came from.
That's when I remembered about the deadly poison I happened to have in my pen at the time.
What a terrible tale.
In my head, I knew I should just get out of there as quickly as possible, but I couldn't.
Devil got hold of me. What are you gonna do?
I couldn't let her get away with what she'd done when she clearly had no remorse at all.
Oh, he probably curb stomped the swan.
I suppose it was my journo spirit, getting all fired up.
Or maybe the swan was given a taste of the poison.
Remember, this game is a baseline. Do you think Japanese think all foreigners are racist, prejudiced against them? I mean, it was certainly probably this bad at this time in history. Probably worse, even.
Yeah, I mean, you can just kind of assume most people in the 1800s are racist and be right, I think.
Yeah.
It was a based on what I've seen, but I'm not a historian. I'd like to ask you something.
Yes.
You often talk about justice, but surely as a journalist you could have used other means to deliver the justice you sought.
Yeah, but I was mad because she called me a weenie.
She called me a weenie hut junior. Said I lived in a cave.
There's no justice in the press.
Sorry.
After that trial 9 months ago, I kept digging and digging to find out what happened in that courtroom.
Yeah, I was gonna say that too, Moloch guy.
Yeah.
While I was debating about that, I'm like, there is
this-
also a lot of racism in Japan, so they might just assume other people are like that as well.
Yeah.
By they, I mean the racist people in Japan.
Yeah.
It's a lot of xenophobia.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I've seen enough interviews of people talk about it where they're like, yeah, it's crazy.
And finally, I discovered the truth.
They don't even have the decency to do what we do in America, which is disguise some of the racism behind
Lying.
system. Well, no, systems. You systematize it.
Yeah. It was a cover-up, that's what it was.
You bake it in. A cover-up? What do you mean?
I would remind you of your position, witness. Be careful of what you say.
Oh, come on. Doesn't it strike you as strange? We're suddenly not allowed to convict a foreign national. Consular jurisdiction should never have come into it. And yet that puffed-up English woman... Oh, hey, thanks for the raid, Vivot. What's up? Hi, I'm Supes. We play a lot of different kinds of games. How are you doing? American race have the decency to blame thug
No,
culture.
Mala guy. They don't say thug anymore. They say urban.
Stupid.
That's the newer one. Listen, you gotta keep on top of some of these dog whistles. Otherwise, they get fucking hard to spot fast.
Have we arrived to racism? You actually just missed it, I think.
Yeah, the British lady in the flashback was calling this guy a caveman for some reason.
And yet that puffed-up Englishwoman was going to sail away into the sunset a free woman. The only possible explanation is that behind the scenes, some deal had gone down between Britain and Japan.
What sort of deal?
I'd done my research, dug up all the dirt. I was all ready to be published. But you know what happened? The editor just tore the article up.
Oh no, he was in on it.
He came under pressure from the government, you mean? Thank goodness.
Racism is over. We solved it.
We did it.
We gave everyone a Pepsi, and there was no more racism.
If our government is going to let criminals walk free, if they're going to crush the free press, then what choice do I have but to see that justice is done myself?
What pencils does this guy have on his person?
A lot, apparently.
It's like been dozens.
Fanny pack full of them.
He's stuffed every pocket. He's thrown on cargo shorts, and they're just loaded up with fucking Ticonderogas. Let's not forget, Memi Memo-san, that you committed murder yourself. You tried to lay blame at the defendant's door. I'm sorry, but you're no better than Giselle Brett.
Ah! What?
The truth is, you have no right to talk about justice at all. Szechuan sauce.
I suppose. Unlimited pencil works. I am the graphite of my swords. New monkey
We
sphere.
have reached.
What?
There's a new Super Monkey Ball game out, I think.
Ah, Monkey Sphere. Nice.
I don't
know anything
remember-
about Super Monkey Ball except for the 2 hours of videos I watched recently about cheating in the first Super Monkey Ball game.
Oh yeah, that.
Turns out you can just pause a lot and it makes the game a lot easier. I would have known.
It would appear that we have reached a conclusion in this trial at last.
Hey, there we go.
What the what?
This
What is a shout out?
It's a shout out for. Just lets you know.
What,
like, hey,
what is that?
person.
What does it do?
Shouts them out.
Shout out. Shout out was given.
Yep.
I never understand what Twitch is doing, I'll be honest.
Yep.
I've fallen behind in the times and I can't keep up anymore.
Yeah.
Counsel for the defense, Ryutaro Naruhodo.
Oh yeah,
She-
that's me.
She was doing so well! What do you mean? This bit is unearned. She was responding to the name every time. I refuse to accept this one. Oh. Ah, yes. Sorry, Your Excellency, just musing in a manly way here.
It's almost unbelievable that this is your first experience of the Supreme Court. It was an excellent performance.
See, we're not even supposed to shout, Steven.
I'm sorry, I'll be quieter.
I also like that at least in my little pop out of the Twitch chat here, it's highlighted all the raiders in green and tagged them as raider. I don't know why that amuses me.
It doesn't.
It's like we're
it hasn't
in.
done that for me. What the fuck?
I don't know. I never know why things happen. Okay. But it makes me think of Mad Max. So it's like the Raiders. They're here. they're neon green.
In truth, it very much reminded me of your cousin's exploits.
Oh, Ryunosuke, you mean?
The way he handled the trial 9 months ago, and the way you handled this one, it gives me hope that we are genuinely entering a new era of justice in this land.
Frankly, you did much better than he did.
Please ignore me and my dick and balls that I have, and no one needs to know about. But I have them. Otherwise, I wouldn't be allowed in here. Ha ha. I never know why things happen. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I've given up.
Yeah.
I've decided to become dumber, more ignorant.
Some things I don't have to know. It's okay.
That's very flattering, Your Excellency.
Hearing the defense you put forward today made me feel most keenly that the future of our justice system will be forged by you and your contemporaries.
Thank you.
So, Prosecutor Ouchie, do you have any final thoughts?
Wow.
Wow.
You got ready to do this fast. Prosecutor Ouchie.
I,
Your Honor.
Takatsuchi of the Ouchie clan, have been bested by a callow youth not once now, but twice.
And a yokel.
If there was any shred of my former self left, it is withered and died here today.
Gosh, your journey to cultural enlightenment sure took a while, didn't it?
Silence! Rather than living on in shame. Oh, fuck. I will end it all now with this blade. For that is the true path to Ouchieism.
Ouchie. Ism?
One hopes that that's the only way in which he'll be modeling himself after the witness.
Yeah, I think this is a case of Sudoku right here, Molo guy. But he's probably just gonna cut off that little knob of hair.
Sprig of my top knot, the time is right for farewell. Hope is lost forever. Takatsuchi. That's a haiku.
Terminal poo brain. Terminal poo brain is 5 syllables. That could be the end or start of a haiku.
There wasn't even a sound effect.
Yeah, it is dead silent. It's kind of weird.
We need us to send them to be owned over and over
Fucking,
again.
fucking. The fact that everyone is fucking mourning this
I forgot
shit.
you were here.
Yeah. How could you forget Hosonaga?
Hasn't said anything in a while.
Now, in regard to the defendant, remember me, son.
Yes, Your Excellency.
I have reached my final verdict. Guilty! I hereby find you not guilty.
Sakura petals.
Who the fuck put these pedals in my court?
Somebody
Who
better
brought
sweep
these?
this up.
The outside belongs outside. Court is adjourned.
Oh, finally. I can't believe the tutorial case is like fucking 5 hours.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
That's pretty
Like,
crazy.
we fuck around a little bit, but I feel like minimum 5 hours is still probably accurate.
Yeah.
13th August, 2:38 p.m. Supreme Court of Judicature, Defendants Antechamber 3.
This guy outside in modern janitor garb.
It's a living.
It's over. My heart is still pounding in my chest, though. It's all I can do to just stay standing. Lawyers have such great responsibility, such a great burden to bear. Sorry, that's very contemplative, but fucking Naruhodo's stupid this fucking guy. Like, I know what he's like. So like this is you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You get it.
It's very...
Don't they?
When we someday get to the Apollo Justice games, it's going to be very interesting to see Phoenix Wright from an outside perspective. Because he's in the game, but you don't play as him, so you don't see all the dumb bullshit that's going on in his brain the whole time. You just see the results of that bullshit, and it's wild.
Don't they, Naruto-san? It comes with great power.
Spider lawyer. Lawyer man.
This is probably Ray.
Susato! Thank you so much. You were so dashing in there.
Ray and Father.
Honestly, I'm so touched by everything you've... Oh no, I think I'm going to cry.
It wasn't easy, but together we made it. I was on the verge of tears at the end, too.
The only reason I'm still here is because of you.
Oh no, I can't take all the credit. Oh shit, I don't even know. EQ. Which is not to be confused with a EPU, which is from Cubics, Robots for Everyone. That was a reference for all you Cubics heads out there.
It's not me.
They explained it in the opening of the song. With an emotion-powered EPU. It's like an emotional processor unit.
Huh.
Listen, I think about Cubics a lot more than most people. Which is to say at all, probably. God, I loved Cubics. What a show. You did wonderfully, Ray. So I would have to say that the congratulations belong to you. Emotion.
Susato, don't be so standoffish. Huh?
Gotta fight for the right, cause we've got the robot that sets everything right. I had a little rectangle CD somewhere that has the Cubics theme song on it.
Rectangle CD?
Yeah, it's like a CD, but it's a rectangle.
Like rectangle, like they make CDs weird shapes sometimes. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Wild.
Mine's a rectangle.
Hmm.
Yeah. You couldn't put it in one of those like front load discs or like disc changers. It had to be one that like you pop the top on so you could set the disc in there.
No, I know what he's talking about. I haven't seen a rectangular one, but I've seen like sometimes an artist would put out a weird shape of CD just for fun.
Cubics, power beyond compare. Cubics.
I
God,
literally
this
don't
theme
even know
song
what this is.
slaps so hard. You don't know about Cubics?
I do not know.
Wow. Okay. Hold on.
I think my most obscure cartoon that I watched was Code Lyoko, probably.
Code Lyoko's not that obscure. Everyone's heard of that.
Everyone knows that's the one
Code
I was like
Lyoko
really.
is.
That was the one I was like real into though.
Did you know it was French?
Eventually.
Cubics. It was a South Korean animated series. And it had a banger of a theme song.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen this.
Theme song.
This was a 4Kids apparently, so it's weird that I never even heard of it.
I thought everyone had at least heard of it. God, I love the Cubics theme song. In a future not too far away, it's dawning of an all new day. Why are the lyrics of the Cubics theme song on the Pooh's Adventures wiki?
Pooh's Adventures is, I think, like a big crossover fan fiction thing.
Oh, I see. I see.
I think.
It's dawning of an all new day.
I've never looked into it. I've only ever seen that a bunch of things link to it. I don't know if this is a real thing somebody writes, or if this is just a bunch of people having fun on a wiki.
I was double checking the hundreds of models from which to choose the motion-driven EPUs. Yeah, no, I knew all these words. Cause we've got the robot. Sorry.
We're friends, equals, and the trial's over, so no more of this formal super humility nonsense. It's time to celebrate with swagger, to throw caution to the wind.
Swagger? Caution to the... what?
I'm the great defense lawyer, Ryotaro Naruhodo, and I'm taking you out to a milk bar tomorrow. Or something.
Right, I see. I'll, think about it, Ray.
At any rate, we really knocked the wind out of that horrid man, and it felt so good.
Yes, it was satisfying.
It really was. Isn't there anybody else we could throw together?
I hope you're not looking at me, Ray. I'm an old man dying of cancer, I think.
Oh, my goodness. No, of course not. Of course not.
Ah, there it is at last. Ray's lovely smile.
You fought for your friend to the very last. As your father, I'm extremely proud of you, defense attorney Ryotaro Naruhodo.
However, as your
It fe-
executioner,
It feels like there's a however coming, doesn't it?
however, as Omni-Man,
Thank you, but I couldn't have done it without your help. Anyway, it's time to bid farewell to Ryutaro, I think. I shall miss him in a way, but it's back to Susato Mikotoba for me. Now.
So I'll never see him again then. What a terrible shame. What? Something. Oh. Hey, guys.
What is happening? Ah, Saseki-san and Inspector Hasunaga. I do hope you've both been keeping well.
Is that really you?
Yes, I had to change my appearance for, well, obvious reasons, I hope, but it's me. Susato Mikotoba. Don't.
So dashing, so divine.
Oh, that was so sad.
No! Doubly dashing, yes, and devilishly divine. Just look at you. I had no idea, Mr. Sato-san Esquires, that you were locum student Naruhodo-san Esquire's cousin. Astonishingly astounding ace attorney. That's it, folks. Thanks for coming to the
Title
stream.
drop.
All right, we did it. Shut down the channel. Delete the bots. We're over. We're out. Poor Saseki-san. So confused. I still remember the first time I ever met him. What a screenshot. He was in a prison cell in London. One extraordinary conundrum it was that the unwitting student from Japan found himself embroiled in. But after Naruhodo-san's skillful defense at the Old Bailey, Saseki-san was free to return to Japan.
Clearly, because he's here, in Japan.
And now he seems to have earned himself great fame as an author.
I'm stunned. That's a truly impressive disguise. Even I had no idea, and I'm a chief inspector at the police bureau, who came up with Mr. Turtle, no less.
That was your idea?
I'm not sure you
Yeah,
should
he
be
came up
admitting
with
to that,
Mr.
Inspector.
The excellent disguise, Mr. Turtle.
Amazing. You're a woman of many faces, I see.
Just two, really. And this was a once-in-a-lifetime event, I hope. Oh, I'm not a patch on you, though, Inspector.
Well, I am a professional, of course.
Something about this pose with I am a professional, of course. As he's in his old-timey bathing suit with a turtle strapped to his head.
And he's bleeding from the mouth. I do worry about Inspector Hosonaga sometimes. I really do. He's like some sort of the Great Ace Attorney 2 Resolve. 9 months ago, when he appeared here at the Supreme Court to testify, he was undercover, disguised as the head waiter of the restaurant.
And then he was disguised as a sailor where somebody beat the shit out of him.
And then on the steamship to Great Britain, of course, disguised as a sailor to keep us safe on the journey.
I don't remember how he got all bruised and shit. Did he just fall?
I don't remember either, I'll be honest. Though that didn't help you, did it, Kazuma-sama?
From my perspective, I have to admit that I have mixed feelings about all this. I mean, now the truth has been lost forever.
What do you mean?
I'm talking about the murder that the Englishwoman committed at the end of last year.
Oh, yes, it was an English doctor she killed, as I understand it.
Dr. John H. Wilson, yes. The man I invited to Japan personally. The mystery is, why did she kill him? And now that the culprit herself is dead, we'll probably never know the answer.
On the voyage to Great Britain, we had a most unexpected encounter with Mr. Herlock Sholmes.
Eh?
The great detective, I mean.
Yes, I remember Mr. Sholmes well, of course.
Ah, my arch nemesis! How lightly you utter his name! Well, according to the stories published about him in The Adventures of Herlock Sholmes, the detective once had a partner who helped him solve crimes. A best friend. And that man was an exceptional doctor of medicine by the name of John H. Wilson.
What? Dr. Wilson?
I just can't believe that it's a coincidence. I think that the English doctor of medicine killed here in Japan 9 months ago must have been the friend and partner of Mr. Sholmes. And if that's really true, then the poor girl won't ever see her beloved father again. Science your way out of that one, bitch! Sorry, I have to...
She becomes a Dr. Frankenstein.
Did you say ancient stuff? What?
Huh?
What?
Huh?
Excuse you?
As you know, I traveled to Great Britain once myself to study. It was around the time you were born. I abandoned you immediately. Yes.
Yes, grandmother told me about it.
On returning to Japan, I took up my professorship at the Imperial Yume University. But I also serve another role as an advisor to the government on diplomatic affairs.
Yes, I was aware of that as well.
In that case, I'm sure you understand that there are some confidential matters I cannot divulge to you.
Could you just tell me one thing? No, I can't say what I was thinking. Why did you summon me back to Japan?
Huh?
It's been 2 months now since I returned. When I left England, it was because an urgent telegram had arrived from Japan. It said that you'd collapsed with a high fever, and you're growing weaker by the day.
What? Where did that news come from?
That's what I'd like to know, because after that long sea voyage, I found you in fine health, father. Was there something in Great Britain that you perceived might inconvenience me in some way? Or harm me? That's really the only explanation I can think of.
Dear me, do you reserve your most cutting glares for your father, Susato? I'm sorry, my dear, I simply can't— Ah! Let me go, said some— Oh, him. Ha! Ha! Ha!
I killed 3 men with pencils to get here! Many memo-san!
So, one throw wasn't enough for you.
I've got one last thing to say before they take me away, Professor! Me? I know the truth. I know you had a hand in what went on. That's that visiting student's fate.
Visiting student? Giselle Brett, you mean?
No, not her! The student of law who left for Great Britain 8 months ago.
What? Student of law? He must mean Kazuma-sama. What are you talking about? What does any of this have to do with Kazuma-sama?
Nobody here in Japan knows anything about it. They don't know that the guy never made it to England, that he died on that steamship, and that he'll never— Ah! Holy shit!
Holy shit!
Holy shit!
Well, I didn't expect to find him in here.
I didn't expect to see you out of a chair.
You think I'm stuck in my chair like all those other judges? No, I'm crazy.
I didn't think you were modeled above the chest, I'll be honest.
What were you officers playing at?
Terribly sorry, Your Excellency.
He has a name.
I don't know, his
Damn,
name
this
says
is-
Judge to me.
I was coming to tell you that the rickshaw has arrived, Eugen. It's a good job I came by.
Yes, thank you for dealing with him. I'll be there shortly.
Oh, it's very intimidating to see a judge fully modeled.
I know, right? It's so weird.
Your Excellency?
What's he doing? He's not supposed to be a character outside the courtroom.
The trial's over. I'm not your excellency anymore. Merely your father's friend. Seishiro Jigoku. Jigoku?
Yeah, I guess so.
And may I say that since I saw you last, you seem to have taken on a more dashing appearance. Susato.
So he knew the whole time.
He knew the whole time.
So that was just like a little prank, a little fun little prank. Did you know all along? From the start of the trial?
Yeah.
Yes. A judge sees everything, Susato.
Terrifying.
No, that's Santa.
Jikoku means hell. Holy fuck.
Goku means hell? What? This is Judge Hell?
That kicks ass.
What the fuck?
I couldn't let you take the risk. If Seishiro here hadn't known and then he'd recognized you. So I had a word in his ear beforehand, as an old friend. So, Seishiro, shall we?
Yes. Having ruled on that case, we now have various diplomatic issues to address.
So these guys are in like the Illuminati of some sort, right?
Yeah.
Before you go, Father.
Sorry, my dear, we shall have to return to our earlier conversation at a later date. But well done again, both of you. You did admirably.
Oh, thank you very much.
What did you think of my Seishiro sling, huh? It's been a while since I sent a man flying like that.
Terrifying. Bye.
Whatever could Father be hiding from me? About Giselle Brett, about Dr. Wilson, and now it seems, according to the reporter, about Kazuma-sama. Justice is evil. I'm going to have to bring this up with Father sometime, when nobody else is around.
Oh, you're still here.
Judicial Assistant Mikotoba-san Esquires. Can I have a word? I don't know why I turned into Christopher Walken. It's not what I was doing before.
It's basically the same thing.
Heavens to Murgatroyd. Okay, there, I think I got it again. Oh, yes, of course, Soseki-san. What is it? I think perhaps it could have been fate that we're meeting again like this now. You see, there's something I need to tell you. Oh? I believe that it may be related to the reasons why your father summoned you back from England. This I have to hear. Please, Soseki-san, tell me at once. I will! As you know, my time in England was terrible. Cursed, I have no doubt. Such awful things I was embroiled in. Thank goodness locum student Naruto-san Esquire stepped in. After he secured my freedom, I couldn't wait to get on a ship back here to my homeland. Oh yes, the Reaper's Curse.
Oh yeah, where everybody proven innocent dies.
Having arrived in Japan, I submitted a report about my experiences to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Next thing I knew, I had a visitor. It was your father, Professor Mikotoba. He wanted to ask me all sorts of things about my report. My father? He seemed to be especially taken with a particular part of the report. Anyway, he left eventually, having thoroughly quizzed me. But it was the very next day that he sent the telegram to you asking you to return to Japan. What was it then? What was it then? The particular part that my father was interested in. I don't really know exactly. But do you remember them? But do you remember them? Those two terrible cases I was caught up in? Of course, I could never forget. Your father seemed to concern himself mainly with the second case.
I didn't remember that he was
Second
in
one?
2 of them.
You mean the one Sholmes forbade any of us talk about in public?
I don't remember this at all. Was this not in the first game?
Which is why the only case involving you that any member of the public is
Okay.
aware of is the first.
Alright.
I don't care! I don't have to listen to what that dastardly detective says. Anyway, the point is, it seems that case somehow holds the key to all these curious unanswered questions. There's a time skip after the Soseki case, huh? The horrific, hideous, heinous case. The case of the haunted lodgings.
So this next one will be a flashback, I guess.
That case somehow caused my father to summon me urgently back to Japan. I thought that whole business was over, but it seems I was wrong. Perhaps that was only the start. Perhaps the story is not yet told. Lulu.
So, the mystery of that English woman's death is solved, thank goodness. And
Boy,
having stood in the
bruv.
Supreme Court now, I think I can comprehend a little better. How you must be feeling as you fight for people's freedom in a foreign land, Naruhodo-san. But actually, I'm writing to you today because of another matter. I met Soseki-san and we talked about that second case he was involved in. Father has said nothing to me, but I feel certain of it. That case holds the key to some great unsolved mystery. My notes on the case should still be in the office, tucked away at the back of the shelves on the left. Perhaps you might like to look over them again. Today, for the first time this year, it feels as though summer has arrived. The sky is a brilliant blue. It makes me long to see you again. Yours, Susato.
And
It's the end of the game. Thanks for coming out, everybody.
feels like there was
We'll
supposed
see
to
you
be more
next
to
time.
that. Save current progress.
Ah, 2.
The Memoirs of the Clouded Kokoro. That means heart.
Oh, I thought that's where the Beach Boys were going.
Let's watch the cutscene and then we can end it. Because I'm curious. Give you a little teaser for next week.
It was a ghastly tale of a winter's night. One of an invisible killer and a crime perpetrated.
I
on the
remember this
pavement
part.
along Briar
Yeah, this
Road.
part I remember, yeah.
As the victim lay at death's door, the mystery of just who had stabbed the young lady from behind had been resolved. But no sooner had my friend saved that Eastern Exchange student from his harrowing plight, than in the dim, flickering shadows of gaslight did a second bizarre crime rend the stillness of that very night. I dare say most can still recall the sensational headlines of the day. Haunted apartment of death, the condemned criminal's curse, the dread demon of coal gas. Yet, though the great detective had at once discerned the truth upon his arrival at the scene,
Oh yeah, definitely.
it only proved to be the overture that announced the rising of the curtain on a most tragic play.
Oh yeah, there were those couple of dipshits we saw that one time that never came up
Yes,
again.
that never came up again. Yeah.
Nah, we're stopping there. All right. Well, thanks for watching, everybody. Have a good night, and we'll be back next week to continue. And we'll be back tomorrow for... I've actually written a schedule. I think Boko's off tomorrow, though, so we'll probably finish Fogs. Have a good night, everybody. Bye-bye.
See ya.